Hey, that 80s dude here, and right now cassettes are super hot, you guys. Cassette collecting is huge. And I just want to tell you, if you're thinking about getting into it or you're already into it, you're going to face problems. It is probably one of my least favorite things that I've collected over the years just because of all the issues that I've run into. And I've learned a lot, don't get me wrong. You're going to learn a lot about cassette tapes and cassette tape belts and players and cassettes themselves over the years from collecting. But one of my biggest issues with them, and I'm going to show you here, right here on my wall, I've got a huge collection of cassette tapes, but the ones on my wall are pretty much on regular rotation because I've got this wonderful Techniques player from the late 90s that I use them to listen to, and I keep it in excellent condition. But here's the thing, you run into degradation of the magnetic area of the actual tape, and then you start to get a lot of loss. You've got tangles and stress on the actual magnetic tape itself, which causes sound issues. You've got the slip sheets that are inside the actual cassette itself. They cause squealing. So there's so many things just with the cassette itself. And then you've got the player problems, right? You've got dirty switches, you've got worn belts that occur, you've got bad pinch rollers, misaligned heads that cause basically high frequency loss. Lots of problems with cassette tape collecting and the actual hardware. But let me go ahead and show you what I have here in case you're thinking about getting into it, and so you have something to kind of start with. And I collect 80s and early 90s cassettes for the most part when I can find them at a reasonable cost. Let me show you what we got going on here. All right, so one of my most frequently listened to cassettes is this Def Leppard Hysteria album. I saw them live earlier this year with along with Journey. That you see here, and the Steve Miller Band, Whitesnake, more Def Leppard, The Cars, Genesis. I'm a big fan of Genesis and Phil Collins. Prince, obviously. You got Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi. I saw Heart live as well a few years back. They're fantastic. And you've got some Van Halen here, Aerosmith, and some soundtracks over here as well. But if you're thinking about getting into cassette tape collecting, go with a genre that you really love, music decade that you find joy with. But just remember, fair warning, you're going to run into some issues. And if it were me, I would get into actual CD collecting because CDs are wonderful. You're going to get far better sound, especially if you're into that, which I am. And then if you're really serious, you can get into vinyl collecting, but that's very costly. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you're getting into cassette collecting, any issues you've run into, your favorite decade, and all sorts of stuff. I'd love to hear that from you. Stay rad.